You ever seen a man's whole life change in one traffic stop? This story isn't just about justice, it's about what happens when judgment gets there first. So, before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because stories like this one, the kind that shake you, that make you think, they're the kind we tell right here every week. This is one you won't forget. The morning started quiet. The kind of quiet that hums before chaos. Officer Daniel Harkins leaned against his patrol car, sipping lukewarm coffee on the edge of Elmwood Park, his eyes scanning the empty path. He'd been on the force for 15 years, long enough to think he'd seen it all, long enough to build habits he didn't question anymore. Some called him old school, others, off the record, called him something darker. Daniel didn't care. Either way, he thought he knew right from wrong. Good guys from bad. But that morning, his compass was about to spin wild. A black Mercedes rolled up, slowed through the park road, polished, silent, tinted, just enough to keep curiosity alive. The driver, a black man, well-dressed, pulled into a spot near the walking trail. Daniel noticed immediately. The man's suit looked expensive. His demeanor was poised, not hurried, not scared. That alone, for Daniel, was suspicious. He told himself he was just doing his job. But deep down, he wasn't. He was following a bias that had been carved into him one stop at a time. He got into his cruiser, lights off, and followed the car at a crawl until it stopped near a bench by the lake. The driver stepped out tall, athletic build, early 40s maybe, crisped navy suit, silver tie, a badge chain barely visible as it dipped inside his shirt. He stretched, looked around, then sat with a leather briefcase beside him, flipping open a small book. To anyone else, it looked peaceful. To Daniel, it looked wrong. He saw something that wasn't a threat where there was none. He radioed dispatched. Car 24 got a suspicious male in Elmwood Park. Dark suit, sitting near the East Trail bench, possibly casing vehicles. Copy. Car 24? Came the dispatcher's voice. Any additional info? Black male, mid-40s alone. Gonna check it out? He didn't mention that the man was doing nothing illegal. That part didn't feel important to Daniel. He stepped out of his cruiser, hand resting on his holster out of habit, walking toward the man like a predator circling calm prey. Morning, he called out. The man looked up with a polite nod, closed his book. Morning, officer, he said evenly. His voice was steady, warm even. Beautiful day, isn't it? Could be, Daniel said. Mind telling me what you're doing here? The man blinked, confused. Just reading. Is there a problem? Depends. You live around here? Not exactly, the man replied, straightening a little. I'm in town for work. Daniel's eyes flicked to the briefcase. Work? Huh? What kind of work? The man paused. Federal work. That word hit Daniel like static. He heard federa, and his brain jumped to undercover cartel, or worse. He couldn't imagine a federal agent who looked like this man sitting calmly in his park. Federal, Daniel repeated, tone sharpening. You got ID on you? Of course, the man said, reaching slowly into his jacket pocket. But Daniel's pulse spiked. Hand movements? He didn't like them. His training, his fear, and his prejudice all shouted at once. Keep your hands where I can see them! The man froze, hands raised halfway. All right, officer, I'm complying. Step away from the briefcase! Sir, I think there's a misunderstanding, he said carefully, stepping back, palms open. I'm Agent Michael Cole. I work with the Bureau. Daniel snorted. The Bureau? You mean the FBI? Yes, Michael said, trying to maintain calm. My credentials are in my jacket pocket, left side. But Daniel wasn't listening anymore. The park was too quiet, his mind too loud. He radioed again, voice tense. Dispatch, car 24, need backup at Elmwood Park. Possible suspect, claiming to be federal agent. Michael's jaw tightened. Claiming. Officer, if you let me show my shut it. Daniel barked, pulling his weapon halfway from the holster. Hands on your head! Now! Michael sighed. Slow. Careful. You're making a mistake? Maybe, Daniel said, cuffing him roughly, but I'll let someone else figure that out. As the cold steel locked around Michael's wrists, something in his expression shifted not fear, but disappointment, like he'd seen this scene before too many times, and had hoped this time would be different. When backup arrived, two younger officers jogged up. What's going on, Harkins? One asked. Guy claims he's FBI, Daniel said, scoffing. Probably forged credentials, had this fancy briefcase, acting suspicious. Michael spoke calmly. If you open that briefcase, you'll find my ID, my service weapon, and a classified case file. I was waiting for a contact. Yeah, sure, Daniel said. And I'm the president. The younger officers exchanged uncertain looks. One of them crouched, opened the briefcase. Inside, a federal badge, Glock 19, sealed manila folder, and a letter with FBI... Don? The younger cop murmured. This looks real. Daniel frowned. Fake! They sell this stuff online. The officer held up the ID. It's got holographic seal. Serial number. This is legit. Michael turned his head, eyes locked on Daniel. You can call the field office in D.C. The number's right there. Ask for Deputy Director Simmons. Daniel's throat went dry. He hesitated, then grabbed the radio again. Dispatch! Run a name for me, Michael Cole. Badge 47-1083. Silence for a moment, then static. Copy. That. Stand by. The seconds stretched. The park felt too bright, too open. Daniel's stomach twisted, a feeling creeping in he hadn't felt in years doubt. Then dispatch came back, Carvinci Quattro. Confirm that name again. Michael Cole, badge 47-1083. Another pause. Then 10-4, car 24. That's confirmed. Active Special Agent Michael Cole, FBI Counterintelligence Division. The world tilted. The younger officers froze. Daniel's grip on the handcuffs slipped. Michael stood silent, watching him come, controlled, dangerous in his stillness. Would you mind uncuffing me now, Officer Harkins? He asked. Daniel's fingers trembled as he fumbled with the key. Sir, Michael raised a hand. Don't! The cuffs clicked open. Michael rubbed his wrists, not taking his eyes off Daniel. You called me a suspect. You pulled your weapon. You made assumptions? His tone was low level. Now tell me, what exactly did I do wrong? Daniel opened his mouth, then shut it. I was just following procedure. No, Michael said quietly. You were following prejudice. The air went dead. Even the birds seemed to have stopped. The younger officers shifted awkwardly. Michael looked at them, then back at Daniel. Do me a favor. Don't touch that briefcase again, and don't talk to anyone about what you think you saw. He picked up the case, straightened his jacket, and started to walk away. Wait, Daniel called after him. You're not going to file a complaint? Michael stopped, looked back. Oh, I already did. Daniel blinked. What? Michael's lips curved into the faintest, coldest smile. Before I came here, this was an assessment. What assessment? For you. Daniel froze. What are you talking about? Michael took a slow step closer, eyes hard. You were under review, Officer Harkins. The Bureau has been monitoring racial bias incidents tied to your precinct. I was the evaluator. Daniel's chest tightened. You're lying! Michael's voice stayed calm, almost sympathetic. No, I'm not! He handed Daniel a folded paper official letterhead, FBI seal, and his name typed clean across it. Internal cooperation between federal and local enforcement. You were flagged. Daniel's hands shook as he read it. It was real. Every word. Michael leaned in, voice dropping to a near whisper. You just failed your own test. And then he walked away, leaving Daniel standing in the middle of the park, surrounded by his silence, his backup, and the weight of what he'd just done. But that was only the beginning, because in the days that followed, everything Daniel thought he knew about power, race, and justice was about to unravel one truth at a time.